Hey everybody, welcome to another cold email roast and review where we roast emails inside our spam folder, but we review your emails that you submit from the community. We promise we won't roast you. We will give you helpful feedback and tips. And if you know anybody who you think wants to be reviewed, or you uh, want just for jokes to submit a really bad spam email we can roast on the spot, feel free to do so. So AJ, got anything for this week? I got a couple, but I don't know if you have anything.
I don't, because I think we sent them all through your form. But man, just
Yeah,
excited to be here, man. I woke up this morning and I'm like, yeah, we have that roast today. It's great, man. I had
I
like,
love this. Yeah, like the roasts and the Twitter AMAs that we've been doing are like my two favorite parts of the week right now. So I'm really excited for this. So let me pull up one. This was a submission actually from someone in your group. Let me go grab it. So we have Jeanette Omatayo. And we also have their LinkedIn. So let me share my screen.
sweet. Now, guys,
Okay.
if you're tuning in, comment live if you're here live, so we know who's here. If comment replay, you're watching this after the fact. And also, any questions, pop them in the chat. Again, if you want to send us a submission so we can help you with your business, and basically be free coaching on your lead generation marketing, then just there'll be a form down below you can submit it on.
Yeah. So how can you see this pretty easily, or is it?
I
Does it
can.
look?
Hopefully, the folks on Facebook can see it.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. So we got. I was researching. Okay. So this one we just. I mean, this is like the first thing I think we almost consistently say is it needs to be shorter for sure. I
Yeah,
mean
every
that's
single time, guys. We're gonna shut off the roast. Just make your emails half as long, and they'll work better. And then
yeah.
you'll see.
I think honestly, yeah. I mean that's the main thing. Like anything you guys submit, don't submit. I might even add that to the form. I'll say don't submit it unless it's only like 2 to 3 sentences long. Um,
Well, yeah, maybe somewhere in the middle, because I think that's the thing people have a hard time with is how do they make it short? Like it's
yeah,
harder to make less.
you're right.
But yeah,
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, this is a perfect opportunity, Jeanette, to I think when you have, I mean, look, you have an explanatory animated video is what, like 2 minutes long typically. If you made like 10 seconds of the video and sent it to me after I said I wanted to see it, so if you said like I'm in the process of making this video, would love to send it to you. I've looked at your competitors. I think you could do a lot better than them with videos. Do you want it? Like, I would actually love that because I just don't know. Like, you have to remember what's in their mind when they're seeing this. The two things that are in their mind when they're seeing this are one, what if they're not good, right? Like, what if what they make for me sucks?
yeah,
And two, are they going to take forever to turn this around to me? And if you're providing them something right away, then that problem solved because obviously there's a deliverable, so it's not fake. And secondly, they will know if it's good. And if they don't like it, don't spend your time prospecting them anyways. That's my 2 cents. I don't know.
no, it's great. I think it go every time. It's one of those. Every single cold email roast, we've done this 5 times now. We say two things consistently: make it shorter and have a lead magnet.
Yeah.
Um, have some way for people to just get a taste of what you're doing, so that you can A, stand out and not sound like every other sales pitch, and B, actually, like you said, get through those objections of like, is this person any good, and are they going to actually deliver something in a reasonable time frame? You know?
Yeah. I would also say too, I mean, I'm looking at like, okay, so StrikeGraph, I've heard of this company before. I think they're pretty big. What I would say too is look, there's a rule of thumb I typically follow when it comes to trying to impress or get larger clients. It's that when you're going for larger clients, you have more competition, right? Like there's just naturally more people trying to get them because everyone says they want larger clients.
Yeah.
So since there's more competition, you have to do more to stand out. So for instance, you're saying I was researching some of the best SaaS companies. I like the intent, but I think the problem is that you should be doing something more specific. Like for instance, StarCraft's a big company. So you can just go to their website and you could just look up like their resource section and you could just subscribe to an email newsletter and you could like find something specific about them, right? And this is the key point. Your odds of success, if you're going for a big company and you're not putting in an excess amount of value drops significantly because everyone else is just kind of phoning in low quality sort of pitches. So they're used to that. And so the only way you can stand out is if you can get them as a client. Now, I understand that, maybe the whiteboard explanatory anime video might not be that much money. Maybe you're not charging them like $10,000 or $20,000, so you can't spend that much time on it. But you need to definitely spend more than you probably are now, just making sure that you're actually coming across really specific for them. That's what I would say.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there could be a lot of money in this. Like big companies, big tech companies, they're always producing videos, right?
Yeah.
Like one of our clients that we help with their prospecting, and we helped them hire an SDR recently. They make videos for big tech companies like Dell and like Amazon, and they have literally like those companies. They actually have like 5 or 10 or 20 different video vendors.
Yeah.
So like they need so much video, right? Because they're constantly launching products, launching new features, announcements, right? So like I'm sure even if the video isn't that much, this is worth a lot of money, and it probably is worth taking that extra effort,
I agree. I think it is. And one of the easiest ways is that there's proof that you actually did something. Because here's the thing, if you're reaching out to like the CMO, they actually sometimes will see emails that come through, and they actually will sometimes recognize your name depending on the size of the company. So like you go to the resource section and you could subscribe to their email newsletter, and you could say, hey, imagine how much better it would be if you said, hey, I'm actually a regular reader of your newsletter, right? Doesn't that sound better? Like, wouldn't you read that? So I mean, that's an easy win. Is if you have in the subject line, note from like reader, like newsletter reader, or like suggestion from newsletter reader, like something like that could get their attention. Because remember, at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is getting them to say yes to something. That's it. You just have to get them to say yes to literally anything. That first yes will lead to many more yeses, but you have to get them to at least say yes to one thing.
Yeah, totally. Sales is a bunch of just mini yeses, right? It's not like read this long email pitch and then hopefully you say yes to wanting my product. It's mini yes to the next yes to the next yes, Yeah, and also Lucas, what are your thoughts are? So I'm imagining this person didn't really put any specific effort into the prospect because they're probably just doing a mass blast. But what are your thoughts are like the mass blast versus the personalization? Like obviously the personalization takes time, but you get a way higher response rate. So how would you? What do you think about that?
I think it really depends on. So what I've noticed is that people who have an inferior product, meaning that it doesn't have a lot of virality or a lot of retention, and it's not the best in their niche, they try to overcompensate with volume. So they try to like send. However, if you know that your product is really good, it's very sticky, and people who buy keep buying, and they refer people to it, and it actually is superior, then you don't need to actually spend so much time on volume. You could just spend time on personalization because you know that the product will sell itself. All these things will kind of sell themselves. So what I would say is that if you're not at the point yet where you have to be real with yourself, like it's really difficult to be the best product in a market, like really hard. So if you're not at that point and you're not at the point where you can really afford not doing the volume strategy, then what you need to do is make the amount of effort you put in equivalent to 10% divided by 5 of the LTV. So it's like whatever the LTV is, if you think it's $50,000, divide that by 10. So if that's $5,000, then divide that number by 5, which is typically the average closing rate for most businesses. Right. You got $1,000. That's how much time or energy you should spend into getting one meeting with someone. Now, ideally, you can work the kinks out and come up with some really cool lead magnet or sales process where you can deliver $1,000 of time or value for less than $1,000. But at first, and this is the reason why people like Gary Vee and other marketers tell you need to go spend time getting these prospects, making personal and all stuff, is because at first you don't have really any sales processes that are unique to get people to say yes for less cost to you. At the beginning, you just have to do whatever it takes to show someone that you spent time or money on something, right? Like, I'll give you an example. One thing that I've been mulling over doing, because our software is probably like the only place in the internet where it has like all these agencies coming up with lead magnets and like offers every single day and then trying to update it. And we kind of have a unique view into like what the best lead magnets are because everyone is like crowdsourcing the best ones right now. And I can see the conversion rates from people booking meetings. I was even thinking about hitting up Alex Ramosi at one point and being like, yo, you're always talking about this. Here is why you should talk to me about how we can collab and partner on this. Now, what I was thinking of doing for Alex Ramosi, because I actually learned this from somebody I met one time who was able to get Justin Bieber as a client, and they did the exact same thing. They made a very long video that was like professionally done, and then also sent them a physical product to show them, like they sent him a gold-plated laptop to get him as a client. And this guy didn't have any clients. He had like no clients at all. But Justin Bieber loved the effort, so they ended up doing it. I'm going to do the same thing, I think, with Alex Ramosi, where I'm just going to make almost like a mini movie, right? Because this, if I actually start working with Alex Ramosi, that's probably like $1 million a year of value for partnering with him, right?
Yeah.
So like, why wouldn't I make something that's worth $100,000 in value, right? So that's kind of how I think about it, and hopefully that helps.
Yeah. So what I'm hearing there also is like basically the more valuable the prospect is, the more you can justify the effort or the expense to reach out to them, and the more you need it because the more they're getting pitched left and right and center every day. So the more that you actually need to put in that effort to stand out. By the way, if you get Alex, if you get in touch with him, tell him to hop on our next roast. That would be
well, it's kind of funny, man. I think we might be closer to him than we think. Honestly, I think we could probably at some point here in the next few months maybe get him on something, because our audience is growing. We got a lot of cool people coming on the show. So sure. I think to just maybe touch on another person. Let me go pull up one more person. I know other people said they wanted to submit, but I don't know if everybody emailed me about it. I saw it inside Facebook though. So
quick question, just to clarify that bit about not having a unique product. You were saying that if someone doesn't have a unique offer or lead magnet, that the volume doesn't serve them and they should take the effort to personalize it, right?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
That's the thing. It's like only, but if they have a low value product, meaning that the LTV is only like $5,000, then maybe they just need to stick with the volume approach, even if they do have a superior, product in the market. It just might not make sense for them to spend that much time on it,
Yeah, for sure.
So also, I do have 2 additional ones I've just found in my email. Oh, actually, one was from Janet, who actually just submitted the form. So we have one more though. Sweet. Which I'll share here. And this one is also from the group. So we got, this was from Zachariah. Yeah. And it's shorts / TikToks, reels that get eyeballs plus funnels to convert those eyeballs into qualified calls. Okay.
Can the audience guess what we'll say here about this one?
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, I think it's like a very good attempt, but I think one thing I want to make clear to people: anything that uses the word audit, like a free audit or a free consultation, doesn't work. Right now, I guess video audit. I guess I am being hypocritical because I SEO video analyses do work, but I think what I'm trying to get through here is that you want to typically try to avoid words that people use before. So I usually don't say like free SEO audit. I'll say free video analysis, because that's like a different word that people don't always use. But audit and consultation, I've almost just unilaterally told people don't use that at all in your copy, because like that's just going to make you sound like everyone else. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Like you have to pattern interrupt, right? You're not the only person cold emailing. So yeah, just those small wording changes, right? Like you can take one, you don't have to change, the actual offer, just change what you're calling it. You should check it out, Lucas. We had a live training on offers yesterday. We had Josh Gavin come to the group. Yeah, he's a cool dude. He started his agency when he was like 14. And he was making like 6 figures when he was 17 and skipped college and all that. But his big thing is offers. So we had him come to the group, talk about that. And yeah, basically, like we talked a lot about how you don't, even if you're not going to change the offer, like you can just change how what you call that offer, and it can make a world of difference, right?
Mm, yeah,
Um, because then it seems like a new offer in someone's mind, and overall, it's about pattern interrupt, right? Like
yeah,
if when I'm looking at my email inbox and I get a cold email, I'm first thinking like, okay, this is probably a sales pitch, but maybe it's something useful, maybe not. But as soon as it just looks like everything else, we categorize it mentally and we just throw it in the trash, right?
yeah.
Um, so like, yeah, I mean, a very small percentage of your audience is sitting there looking at cold emails all day, like, oh, I can't wait to like buy something today. No one's doing that,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, to be clear, I mean, all a lead magnet is supposed to do is like 3 to 10x the amount of people who are saying yes to something.
Yeah.
So, and it's funny because, like the one that I always keep talking about over and over again, it's been working for me really recently is partnerships, where I say, hey, I'd love to like add you to our partner network. Do you have some time to hop on a call? I use this all over the place, and it's legit because we do have a free plan we give people to send partnerships their way. But the thing that's interesting is like when I was scaling my agency in full force, and I didn't have a software product and I just had an agency. All I did was pitch people, and I had some lead magnets that were working. But I always, whenever I would go and hit up partners, I would always get so many yeses. But I didn't have really any streamlined product to sell them. It was just kind of like partners, like let's just partner as an agency. But it was always like, dang, I got so many people. I would always think I got so many people saying yes to the partner thing that if I just had something valuable to give them, I probably could build a whole business just around this. And that's kind of what I want you guys to look for when you're doing your prospecting and your sales is there anything where it's like, wow, everyone is saying yes to this? And literally anytime you can get everyone to say yes to something, and like you can just flood your calendar with meetings, you should build a product around that, because it may not seem like the product you started off selling, but it is typically where most of the demand is, essentially.
Yeah. You're just looking for that validation for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think also, just to comment there from those two emails I saw, the email, like, so I think a lot of marketers have this issue when they're writing emails that like the way that we write copy for other stuff is not the way we should write copy for an email. So the way that you would write copy for a newsletter or a landing page, your email can't look like that. Your email is supposed to blend in and be like an email, like a one-to-one conversation or question,
Yeah.
So like, I'm sure like if we actually dissected the copy on those, like we actually would be like, oh, this is some good parts to the copy. It's cool, but it's just not, you can't have that style in the inbox because people aren't opening their inbox expecting to see a giant sales letter. So
Yeah.
your email is not a place to send sales letters. It's a place to have conversations and kind of like really embed your pitch within how someone might normally receive an email communication,
Exactly. Yeah. It's just short to the point. I think what I'm going to do for next week is I'm literally going to say on the form, do not use the word free audit or free consultation, and do not submit this if it is over like 4 sentences. If it's over 3 or 4 sentences, do not submit it. What do you think? 4 sentences, or do you think 3 sentences?
Yeah, I think four is fine. Like I usually try to keep them like 3 to 5 sentences max,
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, at least if you guys just cover those basics, then we can even help you with more of the nitty gritty stuff. But those are the first things, like keep it short, keep it appealing with your offer. Just keep it relevant to the person that you're reaching out to.
100%. Those are the big ones. Those are the big 3. And I think, if we had to take a look at one more person here, I actually did have one more person. Let me go find their email. So let me grab this one. This one was just sent to me via Slack. And I'll just kind of pull it up and paste it so people can see it. So let me share my screen. So one more here, and then we'll close out. So we got, this might be hard to see because I just pasted it from Slack, but so sales demand short videos as a service. Just pasted it from Slack, but okay. So we got irresistible offer, bonus, follow-up offer, and I think some additional stuff here. So let me see. Here we go. Okay. So the first thing is share a Google Drive folder of recordings or written content topics. I mean, honestly, I do like that. There's actually one that that was actually in the software. Let me pull it up. That was good. That was kind of like that. It was this one here. Let me go grab it. So it was a company that just joined called The Social Ads. Let me go find them. Yeah. 27 creative angles for TikTok that we tested and currently use across accounts, right? I love it. I think it's so smart. I do like this strategy. What do you think of offering like a drop folder and just trying to get people to get access to that?
That's cool. What's cool about that is that it's scalable, right? It's not a different lead magnet for each person.
Yeah. I will say the only thing that's potentially dangerous about this and could lead to less conversions is one, it is kind of common. Like there are a lot of people who do this. So there's maybe less supply, like demand for it. The other thing, yeah.
No, go ahead. I was something else.
I just say the other thing could be that it doesn't really show that like you necessarily spent a lot of time for them, right? It could seem too generic. And one offer that worked really well recently was Agnes. She was actually lead magnet of the week on our team. But I really like this one, which was I'll offer free social media content plus 3D animation if you book a call with me. That's pretty dope, honestly. I mean, that's really good. There's like no way you can fudge the value of that. And that immediately booked a call for her once she added that to her sequence, right? So that's probably what I would say there.
So you said for Mark, it was the offer itself isn't really very unique because a lot of people are offering video content, and you said not putting a lot of effort for that person. How did you mean by that bit?
Well, so I think people understand that like that there was effort put into making it, but I think like when they see that you're basically just doing the same thing over and over again, it may not be enough to get them to say yes to a meeting. But what I think something like that could be great for, like I have these all the time, are just like evergreen landing pages that people convert through and grab like, links for anything, right? I mean, I think that's cool. But the problem when you're prospecting is you got to convince somebody who has no idea who you are, didn't find you on social media or anything, that you're worth taking the time to meet with. And that's where it may require doing something unique. Like if he took that and he said, I will make a video for you, or I will come up with 10 content topics for you for your next video, that could be really interesting. Like I would definitely be more inclined to meet with them if that was the case. So
yeah, totally. I think actually that offer he was sharing wasn't his lead mag. I think that's what he was trying to sell. I couldn't understand from the document, but
yeah, it could be. It could be. And I think for anybody, like we're gonna have an updated form for next week. I know we're coming up with the time here, but form's gonna be updated. We're gonna put it in the notes below this live, and we're gonna streamline this a little more because we're getting a lot of submissions. But I think if you guys limit the amount of sentences, and then also just you don't use the word free audit, free consultation, we'll really be in the money here because we'll be able to help a lot more. I think come with even more value for you guys. So
yeah, totally. No, I think it's been super helpful so far. I've been getting a lot of great response and people saying that this is they've really enjoyed the series. So, but yeah, we could definitely make it way better if we can get into some advanced ninja stuff once you guys are thinking the basics more.
Yeah, let's do that. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. It's been fun being on. I got to jump, but appreciate it, man. I'll talk to you guys later.
Appreciate you guys. See you next week.
See ya.